Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dane. In fact, it's going to be a rolling start. It's going to be a long one, so of course we are here seeing McNap in the north fighting for the Commonwealth, fighting for the 43rd Infantry Division, moving out there, and opposing him shall be TAWAnacondachoke of the TAW, fighting for the Panzer Elite, fighting for the 10th SS Panzer Division. Frontsberg, oh goodness heaven. Hiccups, that's never a fun thing right there on the beginning of this day. We are seeing a logistic company going up right here. That's a bit more interesting. Just note he's probably going to then be going rather heavy on the scout car spam. Well, of course I have to see how that works. It could work out well, it could of course also work out pretty terribly. We are seeing the reconnaissance happening down here for the strategic point. Lieutenant Watkins coming out there from the headquarters command truck. We'll of course have to see how he does. Of course, not unusual to see them split up right like that. Of course, usually then sort of send an infantry section to support, or at least keep him reasonably safe, lest you actually fancy him getting gunned down in some dark alley. Although considering this is Angoville, the fields of Angoville, he's probably more likely going to get gunned down in the lovely French pastoral fields. Although he's probably not going to be thinking it like that. Panzergrenadiers moving out here towards the east. Getting crowded in the west, and he's already gone for a doctrine. He's gone for tank destroyer, and of course you can note that on the cannon crowd by the stuff on the back. In this case, of course, repair equipment, ergo tank destroyer. As it actually gains repairability, albeit not the best repairability. That's very important to note. Second infantry section out from McNap, and he's not sending over to the lieutenant. I'm pretty sure Watkins is a bit miffed about that. He's probably feeling a bit lonely right now. But the British are continuing towards the west. Let's see how this goes this time around. Tried already once. Fraps decided it wanted to be really silly. We are seeing a Bren carrying on the way for McNap. Ammo secured there by Lieutenant Watkins. British troops are advancing very slowly. Scout car ready. Panzergrenadiers marching up there. Watkins is in a bit of trouble. Fraps also. Knock it off, Fraps, please.
Capture complete.
And the lieutenant moves towards the victory point. Scout car rolls in. Oh dear, there we go. Lieutenant coming under fire. And the scout car continues the hunt for the lieutenant. We are seeing a Bren carry out though. Can the lieutenant make it out there alive? Can he make it? Oh no, the truck is on the move, so he can't move there. In fact, he's standing out right by the road. And the scout car utterly guns down Lieutenant Watkins. Poor Watkins, he did not stand a chance. He was murdered. At least shot down by that scout car. Which is now driving around, circling about the Bren carrier in a most nefarious way. Second scout car now coming out there. And reconnaissance section continuing in the west alongside that infantry section. But no lieutenant for this chap. We are seeing the Bren car ready. No munitions though to get that Vickers machine gun, which he could be hoping for. Scout cars moving about. Not entirely sure what they want to do. They seem a bit indecisive. Looks like they're going for the cutoff point. Could be, or they are going for something else. No. There we go, Vickers machine gun on the way. Scout cars moving through here. Towards the fuel point, towards victory point. Reconnaissance section on its own there. Whatever shall happen, whatever shall be. A third scout car. Well, fancy that. And there we go. Reconnaissance section spotted under fire. Out in the open, they need cover. There we go, we are seeing the Vickers firing as well as the Bren carrier moves in, but the scout cars are quickly moving about. Going to force the Bren carrier away, I imagine, or at least surrounded. And there we go. Bren carrier keeps firing. It could go for armor-piercing rounds. It could go for it, but it doesn't. It doesn't. Oh dear. And the scout cars are on the hunt for the Bren carrier. Will it survive? Will it make it? Scout cars moving in, light machine guns blasting away. Another infantry section ready for McNap. He might also go for the field support truck now. Damaged engine. Oh dear, this Bren carrier is pretty much banged up. Out of control. And crashing into the scout car before blowing into tiny bits and pieces, sending its crew flying here and there. And reconnaissance chaps are on the run while this infantry section is moving out. Lieutenant Watkins nowhere to be seen since he's dead a long time ago. 4th scout car joins in and looks like they're mounting an assault on the British base. Some in heavy cover, others not quite as much. Though there's no cover for the scout cars either, and they are in fact taking some damage as more and more are moving in. In fact, one scout car is awfully damaged. Could almost be going down soon if the British actually focus it down, but they're not. The section is in fact pulling away since it's taking 2 heavy losses to this barrage of machine gun fire from the scout cars. While the other one goes straight for the fuel. He might have some plans for the fuel himself. Oh, that naughty anaconda choke. But generally a lot of damage on these scout cars. They have not been repaired. He's lacking Panzergrenadiers. In fact, looks like they're up there, and the others are setting up a Panzer support command.
Germans are trying to seize one of our strategic locations. We have territory out of supply.
Bren gunners moving in. Now that's going to help a bit against those scout cars with a few light machine guns. Buttoning it down. Oh dear, this scout car is in a lot of trouble, taking damage, and it cannot respond. The other scout cars are nowhere to be seen. Scout car left on its own and dead. That was less great for those chaps in there. Select change going up at the same time. Panzer support command almost done, almost ready to supply the 10th SS with something a bit more heavy. There we go. It is done. Fertig. The scout cars are sneaking up towards the eastern flank. Bren coming now with an infantry section in it. Not entirely sure why that. Panzergrenadiers moving up here. What could they be up to? What could be up to? And that Bren gun's not going to be doing much either. One Panzer Grenadier team in there, and the other one's moving in there as well. Why on earth? I mean, is there a birthday party going on? Happy birthday to Heinz, or what? I mean, come on. No point in sticking 2 Panzer Grenadier teams in a building when you have scout cars in dire need of repairs, mate. I mean, come on, don't choke on your silliness. There you go, Bren car moving in. Opening out on the scout car, Bren section also moving in. Although, why on earth he's charging in the Bren carrier like that is beyond me. It's taking heavy damage. And there we go, another Bren carrier is going to be down in a even shorter time than the first one. Of course, the Bren gunners could be doing some damage, although they should be targeting the scout car closest to them. You know, priority, and there we go. Scout car now getting focused down by the Brits. Scout car is down, kaputt, nicht mehr. And the second one, oh dear, he's not going for the weaker one, he's going for the actually tougher one and buttoning down that one. That might actually still be able to make it out of there. Then again, it might not. No, there we go. A weight damaged engine, but still it has some defensive efficiency, which allows it to absorb a bit more fire. But that's 2 armoured scout cars down. Try to be used like armoured cars, but they don't quite succeed there. Panzergrenadiers not repairing, and we might be seeing some Panzer IV action on the way from here. We've certainly not seen any anti-tank half-tanks, and possibly feeling a bit confident there. And we are seeing a field support truck up, sappers on the way for McNap. Panzergrenadiers are still not repairing. We're in fact seeing a forward barracks up. Some might call it a reinforcement point, but still, same idea in the end. Except it can't actually train troops, but it can still reinforce. Friend section moving about. This reconnaissance team moving about as well. And there we go, a Panzer IV out to support the 10th SS. Not the most stalwart of Panzer, but can still do a pretty good job against infantry. Bren carried... No, Kettenkrad doing all the repairing again. Not the Panzergrenadiers. I have no idea why he's using the Panzergrenadiers to repair. They do it faster than that, Kettenkrad. And the Panzer IV rolls onwards, unchallenged. Mostly. Not that Bren guns can really do much damage to it. Crashing through the scout car, or what remained of it. And looks like a 17-pounder gun going up for McNap. He's probably expecting some sort of armor. That's not a bad idea, but it's too late. The Panzer IV has arrived, but the Slits Trench is ready to provide cover for the sappers, who immediately begin firing away, and the Panzer IV can do nothing. Of course, they might then decide to quickly finish that 17-pounder gun while there's still time. Scout car still sort of being repaired. Logistic upgrade on 1, securing the munitions. Giving them quite more munitions, those Panzergrenadiers. We're using a tiller mine, but no one here. He could be laying down more tiller mines. In fact, he could be laying down a lot more tiller mines. Captain ready. Captain Hastings. Might be doing a bit better than Watkins. Brent section moving in, coming under fire from the Panzergrenadiers. One man down, dead. Gone to join the Quiet Eternal. We are seeing defensive operations now on the way for the Panzergrenadiers and another Panzergrenadier team. Panzer IV moving about a bit, hoping to jump on any unsuspecting British targets. Looks like he might have spotted a reconnaissance section. And reconnaissance team quickly on the run, as it doesn't quite fancy getting blown up by a Panzer IV. All a bit quiet at the moment. Let's in fact speed things up a bit. Panzergrenadiers on the field. Yeah, seeing the captain moving about here in the north. Looks like the troops are swinging in as well for a northern move. And there we go. Nope. Panzergrenadiers moving in after Captain Hastings. Bren Gunners moving in, opening up on the Panzergrenadiers. Sappers with Pierts en masse. Moving in as well. Oh dear, and there's nothing really to help those Panzergrenadiers. One man down. Get them out of there, or get some reinforcements. Kampfgruppe Company going up. Increased squad sizes for Mr. Anacondachoke. And the Panzer IV Scout machine gun upgrade. Not that it really does anything. Tragically. The increased squad size, that's only going to be helping a bit. He still has that Panzergrenadier team in their building. Still. Oh dear, what a waste. What a waste. And now we are seeing a mortar half-track coming out for Anacondachoke. Panzer IV moving in, could be catching some sappers, and there we go, machine gun blazing. Doing absolutely nothing, there we go. The Panzer IV high explosive round, knocking out 3 sappers with 1 shot. Oh dear, and some other Brits could be caught as targets. Bren Gunners getting into the building. Panzergrenadiers not really there to support. I mean, you know, your Panzergrenadiers support the Panthers. Come on. Sappers opening up on the Panzer IV. Panzer IV rolls in. And the sappers stand. No, they run. They run. Good choice. Panzergrenadiers still doing nothing. Again, not what you want to do with your Panzergrenadiers. Use them, mate. Use them properly. Mortar half-track ready now. He's getting Panzergrenadier upgrades. Oh dear, I have a bad thing in mind. He might just be going for full Panzergrenadiers on these and not really getting ready to fight the British infantry. Stuart light tank actually now ready for McNap. And this Kitten Crown is an unsuspecting victim. And there we go. Kitten Crown going up in smoke. Mortar half-tank on the run from the Stuart light tank. Panzer IV moving in. Oh dear, this could of course end up badly for the Stuart, but no! Oh, wait, Telemine and destroyed engine. The Stuart is in a bit of trouble. Panzer IV just needs to move in and knock it out. Captain Hastings, get out of there, Captain. Oh, come on. Clearly McNap hates his officers, or something like that. Clearly might not be liked very much by his officer staff, since he keeps getting them killed in nasty manners. Not really good, the officer uses it, or at least he's got another lieutenant. Lieutenant Roberts. And the Panzer IV just charges in, gets buttoned up. Stuart fires, but at the same time it's getting pelted by Pierre rounds, which stands for projector infantry anti-tank. Mortar rounds landing, but so are the Pierre rounds. Bren guns keeping the crew inside. The Panzer a bit buttoned up, and there we go. Panzer IV goes down, but the Stuart is out of control. Oh, the inhumanity! And looks like a Panzergrenadier team is getting up into this building here, but they're getting suppressed, or at least besieged. Armor losses for both sides. The mortar after keep firing, but he needs to get out of there before the Piets get it. Get out of there. And there we go. Panzergrenadiers are moving up. No anti-infantry weapons for them. And the mortar half-take goes up in smoke and doom. Panzergrenadiers inside the building need to get out of there. Why on earth did you hang about them? Now quickly retreat before the Bren guns get them targeted. In fact, he should just retreat from this mess. It's not going to help him. Another kitten cart ready. And he's still hiding our Panzergrenadier team inside the building. Still absolutely mind-bogglingly dim-witted that behavior is. I mean, there's no point. I mean, focus on killing the Brits. It looks like a Brent section is still moving about there. Unhindered, unstopped. Though a hetzer could be called in.
Attention. The enemy advances.
Mind you, the British did not have hetzers in Normandy. Of course, it could sort of be there as a Stuke 3 look-alike. Another Panzer IV on the way for TAWAnacondachoke, who's certainly been taking quite a beating after his rather successful start. He was not really prepared for the long fight already, I sort of get the impression of. Now he's finally moving out his Panzergrenadiers with that Panzerschreck. And on their own, he seems to be going in after that 17-pounder gun.
Commonwealth forces are capturing a friendly sector.
Panzergrenadiers getting reinforced, I hope. Scout car, though, getting shot up. 17-pounder gun almost knocked out. Looks like, in fact, it managed to get a Panzergrenadier.
Before the enemy has destroyed a vehicle.
Not looking good. Not looking good. Another Panzergrenadier down, and they, in fact, forced away. Panzerkampfwagen 4 ready, and incendiary grenades now coming out. Slit trench here, going to prove a bit of a problem for any armoured assaults. Kenkrad taking what it can, at least denying it to the British. We are seeing a casualty clearing station going up for McNap. At the same time, sappers are quickly repairing that 17-pounder gun, though it's apparently going a bit difficultly. Panzer IV could do with some upgrades. Scout cars securing points. Bit of inaction, so let's speed this up again.
We now have incendiary grenades at our disposal.
Panzer is moving out. Panzer IV moving in, opening up on the reconnaissance section. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. And now the Panzer IV is taking heavy damage from the 17-pounder gun, able to do quite a bit. In fact, it was an excellent anti-tank weapon. Panzergrenadiers fighting out in the open, which is a bit of a mistake against Bren guns. But they're hoping to get that 17-pounder gun for the fatherland. Will they succeed? Or will the evil British knock them out? Who knows? Bren gunners, everything else fighting right next to a casualty station as well. That could only end up feeding the British. Another Panzergrenadier bites the dust, and looks like a small retreat there from the Panzergrenadier team with the Panzerschreck. And looks like he's now gone for the Panzer command as well, going for group seal. Oh dear, he's going a bit too heavy on sort of logistics. He's building too much by not having enough boots on the ground. A grave mistake, a very grave mistake. You should be very careful about that. He's getting more upgrades for his Panzergrenadiers, but he doesn't really have that many either. He should be getting more at least. And he should also be equipping some with assault rifles to deal with the actual British infantry. But he's not. He's making several mistakes right there, I fear.
Squad ready for orders.
And Piat rounds flying, but an incendiary grenade getting lobbed into the trench. And it immediately gets blown up. And the sappers get out of there reasonably unharmed.
Auftragseingang. Infantry section ready.
Kenkrad, the scout cars are doing what they can right here. Kenkrad doing the actual repair work. Might have been better to leave that to the Panzergrenadiers and leave the Kenkrad to take some points. But again, TAWAnacondachoke seems to be a bit unsure as what to actually do. And now he's getting repair upgrades. He's really getting a lot of upgrades for his Panzergrenadiers, but again, he's not getting enough infantry to fight on the ground. That ought to be a reasonably high priority on his list. Cromwell moving in, opening up on the Panzergrenadiers, but they do fire off some Panzerschrecks in return. Panzer moves in to be a bit of a threat as well, but nothing huge the Cromwell can't handle. It's those chaps with the Panzerschrecks which are the problem. Bren gunners firing in support as well. Oh, scout car moving in actually. And he's actually gotten advanced repair ready, but still no further units. He's really lagging behind on that point. Come on, TAWAnacondachoke, don't choke. on silly ideas. A Churchill tank getting called in. Now that's a bit more interesting to see. Not entirely sure why he goes for that. We'll of course have to see how that works out against the Panzergrenadiers and the Panzergrenadiers.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Roberts a bit more successful than the previous lieutenants, actually gaining veterancy 1. Hooray, and he's still alive and not shot up. More Panzergrenadiers, more Panzergrenadiers. Now he's equipped all 3 teams with Panzergrenadiers, but nothing to really deal with the infantry. Again, what could be a grave mistake, a grave error. Vegas machine gun open to cover this area. Could work certainly. Well, let's speed this up a bit until we get another bit of battle, and there we go. Panzergrenadiers flying at the Churchill, doing a bit of damage. Taking up cover behind that wrecked mortar half-track. Mortar half-track actually absorbing a bit. Cromwell dodging a few rockets. But no more. In fact, flanking speed sends it right into a piece of bocage. Trench going up by the Bren gunners. Panzergrenadiers don't care about that. They get offensive veterancy, firing faster and being more accurate. And are now on the hunt for the Churchill. Oh dear, and he's blobbing up. Good thing that's not an AVRE, or he could fire 1 round and all those Panzergrenadiers could be in a very sad state. And in fact, this trench has not been cancelled, but still it's not been finished either.
Incoming! CP6 ready for your message.
Medics moving out.
Capture complete.
Oh dear, oh dear. And there we go, a British welcome committee to the Panzergrenadiers as they move in with the Panzergrenadiers. Taking in fact quite a bit of damage from the Bren guns. But they're now on the hunt for the 17-pounder gun, but they're coming under fire from the biggest machine gun in the base. Oh dear. And they're getting all suppressed and taking heavy damage. Heads are ready though, but these chaps need to get out of there. Rückzug! Rückzug! Panzergrenadiere! You can do no further for your fatherland, despite TAWAnacondachoke's insistence. And looks like peered around and hit a Panzergrenadiers who's trying to get out of there. Bit unfortunate.
Supply lines are broken. We have a territory cut off from supply.
Ready.
More and more British troops stream in, and now we're seeing a stack count getting the 50 caliber machine gun upgrade. Albeit it is a bit back, so it actually fires without cooldown, which actually gives it a high increase rate of fire, increased rate of suppression. But the Hetzer stops it all for now. Panzer IV could also be moved into support. And the Panzergrenadiers are once more streaming in. Will they succeed this time around? And the Panzer IV charges stack count, rather realizing it can't fight that. The stack count was actually used by the British. The T-17, of course, which was scored caught by the Americans, wasn't actually quite used by the Americans. That's sort of a little fun fact there. And the lieutenant makes it out there. Lieutenant Roberts survives. Another chance encounter with the Panzer Elite, with the Krauts, with the Hun, the Germans, the Bosch. Heads are getting pelted with Piat rounds. Panzergrenadiers are once more on the move. And the Churchill taking a bit of damage from those Panzergrenadiers. Sappers getting shot up. Firefly now ready. Oh dear, that could prove to be a bit of a problem for the Panzer forces. And the Churchill actually goes out of control. The Panzergrenadiers manage to knock it out with the Panzergrenadiers. Gaining a bit of veterancy in the process. But the Panzergrenadiers are quickly losing ground. They're not able to hold it. Again, too much resources being spent on buildings and upgrades, not enough on actual units.
Section is. Field support standing by.
Interestingly, he's moving his field support truck, which he hadn't done some time before. Panzergrenadiers do not actually bother securing the territory. Oh dear. Instead moving in there to take some points and perhaps getting reinforced and repair. Which you could still leave only one Panzergrenadier team to do, I suspect. Something coming out of the logistic company. What could it be? What could it be? Could be a scout car, could be an upgrade. Looks like an upgrade, but he's finally getting additional Panzergrenadiers. That's about damn time. And just needs to get back to securing some points using those Panzergrenadiers at least. He needs to take some point. He's got too much, too little. It's not a good thing, or he could be laying down teller mines or something, you know. Just do something again. Do not have a huge body of troops like that and then doing nothing, basically. I mean, that's not good. And looks like he's got double Panzergrenadier upgrades for them. I mean, again, it's going to help against all what armor there is, but it can't really fight the British infantry. And there's quite a few of those with Bren guns, which is going to be tearing through those Panzergrenadiers. He needs to get some with assault rifles, and he should not be relying on his Panzer IV for all the anti-infantry business. It's going to be targeted out by the Firefly. And there we go, Firefly charging through. Panzergrenadiers again getting torn to bits by the Bren guns, by the Staghound actually. More Panzergrenadiers charging in with Panzer VI. Doing a bit of damage. Panzer IV and heads are firing in support. But the British infantry stream through, and there we go. One good hit from the Panzer IV. Panzergrenadiers getting slaughtered. British also suffering some losses, but nothing quite like the Panzergrenadiers, and they're certainly not going to be paying the same amount of resources. So that's definitely a win for the British. Although those bits of armor need to get repaired soon. So 4 Panzergrenadier teams. That's going to be quite a bit of manpower going to be spent on that. Oh yeah, there's definitely at least one Panzergrenadier team there. He could actually, it would have been cheaper to lose one than actually having to reinforce all those. That's another talk for another time. Again, unit preservation does not quite seem to be his forte. He seems to be more reliant on blobbing, which again is not something you should be relying on. Cromwell quickly getting out of there. Oh dear, this Firefly actually got knocked out, but the Panzergrenadier was much too bold, not too far away, and hadn't been repaired. That's not good. And that reconnaissance section seems to be hiding in the west. Not quite sure why.
AVRE has reached its designated grid.
And once more Panzergrenadiers are repairing away, getting reinforced, again quite expensive. AVRE ready to be called in. Second Firefly on the way to replace the one lost. And again, he's not even bothering to secure that victory point. Come on. Do me that favor, eh? Heads are getting pelted once more. Panzer IV charging in. The Hetzer's not looking too well at all. And there we go. Heads are down, and the Panzergrenadiers were nowhere to be seen. And of course, again, not a lot of anti-infantry weapons. They could, of course, be lobbing incendiary grenades. That could help. But will they do it? No, instead they're simply getting torn to bits by the Bren guns of Veteran C2 Lieutenant. Again, he doesn't quite seem to grasp the whole concept of killing infantry. And he's just lost one Panzergrenadier team outright again because he just ran them into that. Machine gun. Oh dear, what was that? Mortar? I have no idea. Certainly killed a few.
Tank drivers are now able to provide hull,
but not really looking for help for him, and he's apparently hoping for the Panthers. But again, Panthers I mean, but he needs to deal with that infantry in a more stable manner, one that doesn't lose him a lot of Panzergrenadiers, and Panthers are not going to be helping with that. I think he's a bit too reliant for some reason on the concept of blobbing, and again not quite understanding and fully the concepts of cover, spreading out, and simple tactics. It's not really going to be doing well for him in the long run, I fear. He had a good start, but again, some players, you know, when they actually sort of have to fight beyond a certain point, they sort of fall apart because they don't quite actually grasp some concepts, which is rather going to butt them in the ass again, like, you know, killing infantry, not fully equipping your panzers with Panzergrenadiers and then blobbing them up. But on the move they are. Firefly taking a few hits to the side. Getting a second Panzer IV, in fact not the Panzer, in which case going all the resources for them right away has not really been good investment. 17-pounder gun goes down, that's at least a small victory there. But he still takes some nasty losses. And of course that's again not going to be resources he can spend on the Panther. You have to be careful like that. So let's speed things up again a bit. It's going to be a bit slow like that at times. British lining up for another assault, the 43rd. And veterancy free for the Lieutenant. Lieutenant Roberts, quite the veteran lieutenant now. I'm sure also quite the happy lieutenant since he's not gotten killed by McNap's orders.
We are losing a sector.
British advancing, Bren guns providing cover, that is good. And a Churchill aviary coming out from McNap. Oh dear, oh dear. That could end up grimly. And again he's blobbing up his Panzergrenadiers and Panzergrenadiers are flying, but they're not quite hitting or connecting. Oh dear, again that's why you don't do stuff like that. That was one full two full Panzergrenadier teams down. He does get the aviary, but at what cost? I mean, really, at what cost? And now he has absolutely nothing to stop the Firefly. That was not good at all. And of course, he's probably hoping for the Panthers to arrive and save his behind. Panzer IV's taking heavy, and no idea why he's actually locking down in front of a Firefly. That's absolutely insane. It's just going to be a target for it, and now he's getting tank busters, but again, why not the Panther battle group? In this case, I mean, it could help, and then of course get some Panzer to deal with the other things. But you know, just decide and stop blobbing up your Panzergrenadiers. Panzer IV down as suspected, tank busters on the move. Heavy damage to that Cromwell, but that's about it. Will the tank busters be able to turn the tide? Who knows? These Panzer guys need to get out there again. Don't stand out in the open against Bren guns. Bren guns are very, very, very dangerous weapons against troops out in the open. Should not be underestimated at all.
My men are eager to fight.
17-pounder gun going up for McNap. Oh dear, oh dear. And the tank busters are moving in on their own. Panzergrenadiers flying. 17-pounder gun and a Vickers machine gun. No idea what Anacondachoke is going to do if he's not already choking. Tank busters utterly miss, and they're getting gunned down out in the open. Anaconda needs to get them out of there. Out of there, I say. In fact, now he's getting them pressed and killed. Come on. They're pinned down, yet he doesn't really seem to be caring. What an utter mess. And he's now getting more to half-track. He's still not bothering with the Panthers. I mean, come on. So again, I mean, he's gone for the Panther battle group, he's got the research, but again, he's not using it. He's basically wasted all that resources which can be used. Again, more boots on the ground. He's not quite understanding the concept. You have enough boots on the ground. I mean, upgrades are nice, but again, you should have, options should have a certain amount of troops on the ground. Again, he doesn't quite have that against the British. Mortar rounds now flying in. Another Vickers machine gun emplacement. That might be a bit much on the other hand by McNap. Mortar rounds doing a bit of damage to the sappers. And emplacement. And there you go, tank boss has a move flanking in. Brent gun is getting into the trench, could be faced off with incendiary grenades. Yes indeed, and there's also quite a bit of munitions being floated here. He could even be using anti-tank grenades, I suppose. But there we go, force out of the trench, in fact on fire. Anacondachoke pushing through. Just need to get out that 17-pounder gun. He could send in the Panzer force then to support something. Panzergrenadiers though taking heavy losses. Now we've got 17-pounder gun is dead. Kaput, nicht mehr. Mortar rounds flying. Cromwell moving in. British troops actually taking some losses. Miraculously. Considering Anacondachoke's behavior and strategy and tactics. And scout car left to its own devices. Oh, the inhumanity.
We are losing ground.
Let's just speed this up a bit until it gets a bright red here. Moving in the Panzer Shreks. About us doing a bit of damage, but I didn't even getting it down to half in this case. Bit unfortunate, I suppose. But he's clearly this time around now finally getting the Panthers after he's lost quite a lot and barely has anything left. In which case it might have been better to just get some infantry. And the lieutenant is in trouble again. Panzergrenadiers flank, but they can't seem to hit the poor lieutenant. Roberts. And another AVRE. This time not killing a slew of Panzergrenadiers. Staghound though is there, opening up on the Panzergrenadiers. Although veteran sergeants, they are a bit tougher to suppress. So that is a small relief, I suppose. Mortar emplacement down. Panthers ready to get called in. And there we go. From the 9th SS Panzer Division, the Panthers arrive. The 10th did not actually have any Panthers there in Normandy. Panthers already spreading up a bit. That's not good. That could end up badly. AVRE in fact taking quite a bit of damage. Panthers move in to support. Come on quickly. Support the assault. Get in that Panzer fort. Do not send in your troops on their own. Are you daft, man? There we go. Panthers are arriving. Staghound almost down. In with the Panzer fort to support. Not looking good, and he's not placing the frontal armor towards it. Oh dear. Oh, come on. Frontal armor. Hold down with the Sherman Firefly. That's actually a bit rare to see. And he actually lost a Panther. Oh, come on, Anacondachoke. That was definitely to his advantage. Yeah, never mind. I just got caught up in the British music a bit. I really love that soundtrack. No, that's a Pier left behind. A Bergtiger could be helping out. Then again, more infantry could be helping out. Better tactics could be helping him out. Not blowing up his troops and sending them out in the open could be helping out. Just using cover could be helping him out. And the Panzer IV moving in.
They've destroyed a German target.
Oh dear. Some nasty losses to those chaps. And now the Firefly is actually being pushed away as well by the tank busters. Another Panzergrenadiers with all those nasty Panzer tracks. Go for Firefly, but for how long is the question. But now a quick counterattack moving in by sappers though. And of course the Avery. No. Dear, and that now it actually results in a full retreat but still heavy losses. We'll definitely say that Anacondachoke has choked. Panther getting a few shots off, getting a few kills. And Lieutenant Roberts is quickly on the run. Not quite fancying getting killed. Quite a bit of armor for McNap. A bit of infantry. Once more, the tank busters on the move. Nothing else really going on in his space. Not really looking good for Anaconda.
Tell us what you want.
It looks like the sappers are left to do the charge. While the Fireflies are covering fire, opening up on the Panther. And quickly the tank busters move in.
Panzer forces are down to 100 points.
And this time around he actually pulls away in time. Will he actually be securing these points? Come on. Anacondachoke, take the points. Take some points, for heaven's sake. Looks like a Yak Panther has arrived. And first time it was encountered actually by the Allies, by the British. It was actually mistaken for the Elephant, aka the Ferdinand. Interestingly enough. It was encountered by the Scottish Guards, who lost a lot of Churchills to a force of Yak Panthers charging through. And there we go, securing that victory point. Things looking a bit off for McNap, but he's clearly setting up for something. Blowing away the Boccaccia to clear the line of fire. That's not a bad idea. Speeding things up a bit. Not much happening. Looks like another British assault might be going in. No? What on earth is he planning? Another AVRE getting called in. That's 2 AVREs. Now getting them over-repaired. He's clearly got some sort of major assault going on. And I mean, I wager again that Mr. Anacondachoke is blowing a lot of munitions. He's actually laying down telemines for nothing here. In fact, his side here are rather vulnerable. He doesn't know if there's an assault. He hasn't bothered with telemines. That could actually prove to be quite a flaw. Quite the flaw.
Germans have penetrated the lines.
And it could be one that McNab might be hoping to exploit. We'll have to find out. I mean, yes, he's got a telemine here, and that's about it. Yes, indeed, he's going for the base assault. He's going with a huge force, which has been well prepared in armor. And Anacondachoke is utterly unprepared for it.
AVRE has reached its designated grid.
And there we go, lining up for the great push. So this could be over by Christmas. Well, I hope this replay is over by Christmas, preferably a lot sooner than that. And there you go, AVRE is leading the charge. Clearing out any obstacles, like say the flak feelings. There we go. And how quick is he to react? Panzergrenadiers is getting retreated. Panther and Yak Panther on the move. Mortar attack could also be sent in, I suppose.
We're down to 300 points.
Sappers advancing, Fireflies moving in. And will the Panther and Yak Panther open up on any targets? Flak feeling is kaput. Ever eating fire, and the The German armor's not supporting. Oh dear, he's sending in the Panzergrenadiers again without support. Oh dear, Aviary's absolutely slaughtered the Panzergrenadiers. But there we go, finally moving in, opening up on the Aviary. A few seconds too late. Panzer IV moving into the midst of this. One Panzergrenadier, in fact, a tank buster is still alive. Mortar half-tracks moving into the scum of it all as well. Buildings getting shattered. Panzer IV getting utterly blown to bits. Yak Panther and Panther opening up on the Fireflies, or do they? Getting covered in Pied rounds. Mortar half-track not firing on them. Panzergrenadiers are in a lot of trouble. Fireflies could be going down, but they're exposing their rear armor to the sappers. And no further infantry on the way for TAWAnacondachoke. Oh dear. Firefly is down. Yak Panther turning about. Another Panzer Grenadier team is utterly lost. Irrevocably lost, in fact. Panther getting buttoned, but this Firefly could still be going down. In fact, it is, by the looks of it. But there's nothing to stop it. No Panzer Grenadiers. Oh dear. And the sappers knock out a Panther. Oh dear. Mortar, though, lands some good shots off there. And the Lieutenant Robert steals a Panzergrenadier. Look, that's what I've got, he says, and then moves on with grim determination. Opens up on the Yak Panther. Scores a hit. Troops, though, are taking heavy losses to the Yak Panther. Tank busters ready. But again, nothing to actually deal with his infantry. And the Yak Panther is slowly being drained of life. And he's moving in against the Aviary with Panzer Grenadiers, and the Aviary clears up one. Yak Panther managed to shoo away the last British troops. And the Cromwell moves in, ready to flank. Oh dear, the Yak Panther is in constant trouble. And I have no idea why he insists on doing stupid things like that. I mean, you do not send infantry in like that against an Aviary. And certainly not against one who has proven he can actually target right in front of you, so he actually gets the full hit. And now the Cromwell is just circling about, and a Firefly this Yak Panther has lost. Now we are seeing regular Panzergrenadiers arriving. Opening up the Cromwell, but I doubt this Yak Panther has any more in it. And there we go. Yak Panther's kaput. 10th SS Panzer Division has been taking some severe losses in this fight, I fear. Cromwell taking a beating. Half-track not doing too well either. And this is pretty much it. I mean, and Arta Massacre, some Panzergrenadiers hanging about here now with Gewehr 43s. Not assault rifles? Oh dear, I have no idea why he's going through his head. And the flak feeling actually gets recruited by the Brits, and they tear through the base. GG, and there we go. A resounding victory for McNap and the 43rd Infantry Division against the 10th SS. And of course, what can we learn from this mess? Well, you know, don't blob up your infantry again. Really, really important. Also, you know, ensure there's some variety in your infantry. I mean, don't equip them all with dual Panzergrenadier. It really decreases their anti-infantry power. And that was really what he lost on. He couldn't really kill those infantry men too fast enough, because, again, he was relying on the Panzer IV, and that actually had some problems. I mean, it's an infantry support tank, not an infantry do the bloody work for you tank. So keep that in mind. That was rather what partially lost in the fight. Of course, that poor unit preservation constantly running his Panzergrenadiers after the Aviary, getting them killed. Absolutely inhumane. And not taking good care of his armor either. And McNap will handle this pretty well. Good use of Bren guns. Good use of attacking right there where the enemy did not expect it, right in space, oddly enough. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this fight. If you did, why not subscribe to tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, why not send a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers.